I'm Ingo Brigandt, coming from the University of Alberta, located in Edmonton on Treaty 6 territory. I'm by no means new to the University of Pittsburgh. From 2000 until 2006, I did my PhD here in the History and Philosophy of Science department. Then 8 years ago was my first visit to the center. Back then, I was a visiting fellow for all of fall, but now I am a 5-minute fellow. My research is in philosophy of biology, broadly construed. The domains I've been all along interested in are evolutionary developmental biology and molecular biology. My dissertation work was on concept change in the history of biology. Later I also investigated integration and how interdisciplinary research across different biological fields operates. Then I became interested in the domain of systems biology, where the philosophical import is how the use of mathematical models of complex molecular and cellular systems differs from the then dominant or kind of still prominent account of mechanistic explanation. Another kind of major research interest of mine is science and values. I originally got interested in this because of a look at the kind of intelligent design versus evolution wars, or discussions surrounding climate change. And in both cases, it was obvious that you have important issues at the intersections of science, but also kind of the society, including science education and public policy. Most recently in this context, I've just edited a special issue on the topic of engaging with science, values, and society for the Canadian Journal of Philosophy. It just came out a few weeks ago. A parallel interest of mine is conceptual engineering, where which unlike traditional conceptual analysis is about revising and in fact improving concept, discarding problematic concepts, and developing novel concepts, often for social, political, and environmental purposes. And I'm being primed for this conceptual engineering work due to my long-standing interest on concept revision in science, but also in the case of conceptual engineering, there's a clear connection to kind of non-epistemic values and aims. My project here at the center reflects my growing interest in the philosophy of cognitive science and also philosophy of psychiatry. Is on how to properly investigate human cognitive diversity. The motivation is there's all along been research that has primarily aimed at uncovering and documenting cognitive differences, including cognitive differences between groups. By now, research on cognitive differences between different races is repudiated. At the same time, there's still quite some active research on so-called sex differences in the brain, or kind of cognitive differences between men and women. To my mind, research that primarily aims at just mapping out differences, group differences, yields of impoverished representation schemes that fail to kind of map out the full variation of cognitive traits and full human cognitive diversity. And so, because of this, my project is trying to understand what methodology scientists already use or kind of can use to adequately investigate human cognitive diversity, what data to gather, for instance, geographical variation, cultural variation, what analytical categories to use, how to investigate variation within a given analytical category, how to represent and analyze findings, including representing findings to the public, and also how to kind of explain cognitive behavior, or kind of cognitive features and human behavior, including explaining cognitive diversity in terms of the impact of our human social environment. A final question is what notion of human nature can or should we be using, given the importance of human cognitive and behavioral diversity.